I'm talking about Bob Eubanks, and you're probably asking, well, why are you talking about Bob Eubanks with Bob Eubanks on a sports show? It's because he is promoting and hosting an upcoming soccer fantasy camp. It's being held in Denver at the Lowry Sports Complex, August 10th through the 14th. This is a soccer camp
next week,
hosted and sponsored by FC Barcelona. Bob, welcome to the sports show.
Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on. I'm not hosting this. I just have a history with this wonderful project, and as a parent, I just want to let every parent of a soccer player between the ages of 7 and 15, this is the most wonderful opportunity, boys or girls, that your child will ever have. Barcelona, the Barcelona Escola, they send over these coaches from their school, and they teach our children the Barcelona method of soccer. And it is an absolute wonderful time for these kids, I'm telling you. And as you said, it's going to be the 10th through the 14th. It starts on Monday. But, you know, I have a little boy, and he went to it last year. And this has nothing to do with me or my profession, but he got invited then to go to Barcelona. And some kids do get invited, and he went over there and trained, and it was just wonderful. That's all I can tell you.
Bob, FC Barcelona is sponsoring this. What kind of presence will FC Barcelona have at the camp at Lowry starting next Monday? Will there be any current players, former players? Who will be there on behalf of FC Barcelona?
These are the coaches. These are the coaches that Barcelona sends over to instruct the children here in the United States. And when a child checks in, they get a Nike uniform, they get a soccer ball, and the whole 9 yards. But most importantly, they get a week of solid, incredible training that they'll never forget. They'll never forget. It's such a gift, and I cannot explain it more than it's just so good. That's all I can tell you.
Bob, just to shift, you said you don't have a dog in the hunt. You've lived in Los Angeles in the California area forever, I know, since we were all young together. I'm older than you are, but what hunt is your dog in regard to Los Angeles teams? The college teams out there, the professional teams? Do you pay attention to the sports teams that are in LA?
You know, I don't. I've been involved in this soccer thing. I produced the Beatles concerts at Dodger Stadium in '66, and so I go to Dodger games once in a while. That's fun for me. But you know, I'm still very, very busy. And let me give you a little trivia. My wife was Miss Colorado 1990.
Wow.
She worked on the John Elway television show for a long time.
Bob, and that's when I responded to your people. I was the host of the John Elway show, so I'm sure that your wife won't remember me, but I remember her when she was working there as Miss Colorado.
Yep, Deborah James. You know, and she was Miss Colorado, then went on to be top 5 Miss USA. I saw her win $100,000 on Star Search, and I said, "That's the one for me right there."
Do you get to spend any time? Do you get to spend any time in Colorado? Do you come over on vacations?
No, haven't for a long time. I've been, you know, I just got back 2 hours ago. I landed from Jacksonville, Florida. So I've been doing a lot of traveling. I give speeches. I speak to corporate America, and it's fun. I'm so blessed. I have this wonderful family, reasonably healthy, and I've got a little boy that God gave me an angel. I have 4 children. My oldest is retired LA County fireman. I have a son who's the #1 stunt driver in the world for the motion pictures. And I have a daughter who runs a restaurant in Orange County. And then my little guy is the soccer fanatic.
You know, Bob, one of the beauties of the internet is that the Newlywed Game in particular lives on forever. I mean, almost every day somebody posts something from the Newlywed Game. Do you get residuals for that, Bob?
No, heck no. You know, and I do the Rose Parade every year, but this is going to be my last year. I do it for Tribune and the Hallmark Channel, but this is my last year. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to leave under my terms, but it's been 40 years, man.
That's incredible that it lives on, but how were you introduced to being in Hollywood and getting involved in game shows and television out there. Do you have a radio background?
Yeah, I worked at the #1 rocker for 7 years, and it was during that time the Beatles toured America. I ended up producing their concerts all 3 years they toured, and I did 100 concerts a year while I was in radio. Then when Newlywed Game came along, they auditioned every disc jockey in town. Today they would audition the weathermen. Like Sajak was a weatherman, Letterman was a weatherman. But I was lucky enough to win that audition. God only knows why. And, that was the beginning of the television end of it. But I happen to believe that what you have to do in this industry is you have to keep reinventing yourself. You have to take what you know how to do and apply it in other areas. That's what I'm doing now. I travel around the country. I speak to corporate America, and I make them laugh, and they give me a check, and it's really cool, man.
That's great. Do you have one moment in the history of the Newlywed Game that you remember, or?
No, people ask me that, but my sense of humor changed over the years, so I really don't. It was a great time. It was fun. I've done 11 different game shows.
Yeah.
If someone says, "Well, what are you the most proud of your career?" God, I don't know. I've had such a wonderful time. I really have.
Bob, it sounds like you could write a book. I didn't know about the Beatles concerts, but if you do write a book, I'm reading that one. All right.
Well, I wrote the book already.
Oh, you did?
It's called. Yeah. It's called. It's in the book, Bob. And
that's where I was going, Bob. You know that legend has followed you forever.
Well, I'm glad you didn't go there, man.
Hey, Bob, want to mention it one more time? An FC Barcelona sponsored camp here in Denver at the Lowry Sports Complex. It's for kids 7 to 15 years old. It starts this Monday. And once again, the website where people can sign up for it?
Yeah, it's barcelonacamps.com. And it's for boys and girls.
Got it.
So it is wonderful. Guys, thanks for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob.
Well, come visit us sometime. Bring your wife, and she and I can talk about the John Elway show. When I was hosting it, she was out at the circus with us when we were at Ringling Brothers. So
I have to get home because we had a little incident. The gardener cut our cat's tail off with a weed whacker.
Oh my God!
So, yeah, so I'm gonna take the cat to Walmart because they're the biggest retailers in the country.
We walked right into that.
And
one,
I thought you were gonna say it's in the tail, Bob.
Bob, thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you.
BarcelonaCamps.com. That segment sponsored by.
Story. That's why I wrote the book. Was when the Rockies played in Arizona the first time. Do you know what the name of the stadium was down there?
They called it the Bob, Bank One Ballpark.
Yeah. And I wrote a column and I said, "In the Bob, but."
That segment and all those jokes brought to you by John Elway, Cadillac of Park Meadows, Colorado's #1 Cadillac dealer.